Thanks for joining us tonight on NewsNation. I'm Rudabeh Shabazi.
And I am Aaron Nolan. Our top story tonight, former President Donald Trump's second impeachment trial. You're taking a live look at the U.S. Capitol, where opening arguments will start in just a couple of days. The House impeached Trump on one article charging him with incitement of insurrection. Now it will be up to the Senate to reach a verdict.
Democrats say the former president incited the violent mob that stormed the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. It would take a two-thirds vote of the 100-member Senate to convict Trump of the impeachment charge, but it seems unlikely that there will be enough votes supporting that. Democrats argue the evidence for conviction is clear, while Republicans say an impeachment trial is not the way forward.
No constitutional authority to do this. It is dangerous to try and weaponize the impeachment process.
He is out of office. He is a private citizen. I do worry about the precedents this sets. Are there other remedies out there? Yes.
The fact that President Trump is no longer in office does not change things. I want to put the evidence on the record once and for all for this generation and future generations as to what actually occurred.
We'll see if it's going to be a Senate of courage or cowardice.
Briefings filed this week by President Trump's legal team deny the president was responsible for the riot. They say they plan to make their case without having Trump testify. Oral arguments are expected to begin on Tuesday. So joining us now to discuss the impeachment trial is Howard Gutman. He was nominated by former President Barack Obama to be U.S. Ambassador to the Kingdom of Belgium. So thanks for being here tonight.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
So we've heard the arguments on both sides. Those in favor say it's important to show that inciting violence isn't acceptable. But critics, including some Democrats, say this is a futile effort when Congress could be getting other things done. You are a Democrat who's been arguing against impeachment. Why?
So I think the low point for Donald Trump in our country was January 6th, January 7th, January 8th, when Mitch McConnell turned his back and Elaine Chao, Mitch's wife, left the cabinet, when Lindsey Graham even said enough is enough. And it looked like the Republican Party finally threw their hand up and was going to leave Donald Trump unless the Democrats potentially overplayed their hand, which is to say we want to take the political move of preventing him from ever running again. The Republican base wouldn't stand for that. They put pressure on the senators, and so the senators had to rally around former President Trump. It's hard to make former President Trump sympathetic or a martyr, but by going forward, that's been the effect of the Democrats' action so far.
And you don't think they'll have any success in this effort?
This is a political effort, so you just count noses. The other risk is take a time when one party does, in fact, control a supermajority of the Senate and a majority of the House. They could use this precedent to disqualify every single former office holder from running against them for president. In this case, let's say if the Republicans had the Senate, they could disqualify Kamala Harris. They could disqualify Amy Klobuchar. They could disqualify any current or former federal office holder saying you can never run again. It would blow open our political system. It would take the vote out of the hands of 150 million usually voting Americans and into the hands of 100 people playing politics.
So former President Trump's team will reportedly use footage of Democrat statements in court. So as you understand it, what is the legal team's defense here?
So I talked to David Schoen today. David Schoen is the lead trial lawyer for President Trump and also a 25-year buddy of mine. And he appeared on my radio show, As I See It, today. And David said, first, they're going to argue the proceedings are unconstitutional, that you cannot seek to disqualify a non-office holder. President Trump is no longer in office. You can't disqualify him. And second, that his conduct did not constitute incitement, that he has a First Amendment right to argue, to say he thinks the election was stolen, a First Amendment right to rally his troops with words like fight. That meant sort of fight for your rights. And is protected First Amendment speech and therefore does not qualify as incitement. Specifically, David told me he is not arguing that the election itself was stolen. That's just that his client had a First Amendment right to argue that.
So they're arguing over semantics, basically. What is the definition of fight? What did he mean by it?
Well, that's a lot of what law is. If you remember the Clinton impeachment, which is my law firm at the time I was practicing at Williams and Connolly, it was about what is the meaning of the, it is semantics. It means a lot in law.
Okay, I want to move on. Today, Congresswoman Liz Cheney of Wyoming becoming the latest lawmaker to be censured for voting in favor of the impeachment. What does that say about the Republican Party as the whole and the way they view this effort?
So I think the main thing it says is the Republican Party is having real splits. So you had Mitch McConnell, who said Marjorie Taylor Greene was crazy, and I back Liz Cheney. You had Matt Gaetz go after Liz Cheney. And so there is more turmoil in the Republican Party than at any time I've ever seen. When AOC and the squad emerged on the Democrat side, people would argue that the Democrats were beginning to split left and center. But right now, we've got an armed camp. We have Mitch McConnell and Liz Cheney going arm in arm and saying enough. We have Kevin McCarthy at the House saying, I just don't know what to do. I'm just going to open the tent wide for everyone. And we have strong Trumpers going after Liz Cheney and McConnell. I'm thinking they're going to have a problem holding their party together, which is critical for 2022 when they would normally pick up House seats.
Mr. Gutman, I wish we had more time with you, but we have to let you go this evening. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, and stay safe. All the best.
You too.